مساء الخير. Good evening. My name is Mona Al-Arfaj, and I'm one of the coordinators of Harmony House. So yes, we welcome you all in Harmony House. We say this is your house because we are here really just to offer whatever we're offering with so much love. And the idea is that when we become peaceful, you just want everybody, to feel that peace, to feel that goodness within. And it's like very rewarding, when you feel that other people are also becoming more peaceful, more happy. So we're very happy to have all of you here. I'm very happy to have our guest today, Brother Ram. He's actually living in New York. And we just met actually 2 days ago in India. We were together in another retreat. And he happens to be passing by Kuwait, and we're very happy to have you, Brother Ram. Actually, Brother Ram, he has a big CV, but I will just summarize it in 2 minutes. He's a civil engineer by profession. He has been working in this field. He has his own company, and he has conducted many, many programs. And also he has been learning this meditation of Raj Yoga since 50 years. But actually, when you see him, I felt he is only 50 years, I said, when did you learn all that? Anyway, he's really an example of someone who is very positive, inspirational, really. And I'm sure you will all enjoy his session. But also, I wanted to say that he's very, very active in New York. I happened to be there 8 years ago, and he was conducting a big marathon in the Avenue, where in the heart of Manhattan. And it was all about the act of goodness. It's called 7 billion acts of goodness, which he will share more. So he's very much into a lot of programs that promote peace in the world, and also with the programs for youth. So thank you very much, Brother Ram. Thanks a lot for being with us today. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I am so happy to be here. When I was making reservations, and they said, okay, Kuwait Airlines, because they were the most inexpensive. And then they say 23 hours halt in Kuwait City. I said, 23 hours, what I will do? So I came in contact with the Mona, Pavitra, and they say, oh no, okay, we will have some people coming and you will meet with them. I never knew I will get such a big reception when I came over here. Everything became so easy and comfortable. And now I am seeing all of you. My heart is really full of joy, I could say. And as Mona had said, yes, I had been practicing meditation for the last 50 years. And I tell everybody, because the way I adopted it, I was miles away from spirituality when I was in college time. I was a naughty boy, making all kind of troubles in school, sit on the back benches, throwing paper balls, even on the teacher, not student, teacher. I used to not studying. Some another, I became an engineer, but I became third class engineer. Means, but some another, I came in contact with the organization Brahma Kumaris, and my life changed. I quit smoking, drinking within 1 week time. People spend so much time because what I learned was there is a potential of change. Don't be afraid that you have done all the wrong things. I feel that you can always make up for whatever you have lost, even in the childhood. So I found that because I was not doing well and I was doing wrong things, but there was a deeper desire to change within myself. So to me, it may be the deeper desire of change happened because I became bad. So turning bad to good, I just went through that process. And there is a desire to share that it is a possibility. And so that is where my 50 years, like, and I used my engineering skills in the spirituality. For me, spiritual, we talk about spirituality is a form of science, deeper science that help me in day-to-day life of dealing with people and even in my profession. I feel that if I am not doing well in my profession, I am not doing the spirituality in the right way. If I have the life of spirituality, I have to grow in my profession. That's the indication that you are doing well. In other words, I call spirituality a dynamic energy. It's not a static energy. Lots of time people think, and I used to think that if you have a spiritual life, you become not too useful to the society, that you just go into the jungle and just live the life of a beggar and like that. But actually, my professional life grew with a spiritual energy, because what I found, when you have a positive attitude, so when the positive attitude, you are not thinking negative, so there is no waste of energy. And when you like to help other people, it generates energy. Like what I experience in my life, happiness generates energy in the body. Love generates energy in the body. Like you must have seen, when you are happy and enthusiastic, you can sleep 3 or 4 hours. Still, you will jump out of the bed full of energy. And when you're depressed or worried or concerned, you can sleep 8 hours. Still, when you get up, you're tired. Is true or not? So can I say happiness generates energy in the body? Same way, when you could be coming home totally tired, exhausted. You don't have a one drop energy left in you. But you come home thinking that now I am going to just take a rest. I won't do anything. And your little one is waiting for you. Mom, I'm so glad you are here. Dad, I'm so happy you are here. Then they say, oh, could you do this thing for me? It will take you only 2 hours. And what happens to you at that time? You're totally exhausted, no energy. And here a child is asking you. You cannot disappoint the child. You start doing the work. And to your amazement, after 2 hours, child became happy, you became happy, and actually work got done, and you even forgot about your tiredness. Do we have that kind of experience? We were tired totally, and now I'm not tired anymore. Question is, it's the physical energy with which I worked. So where that 2 hours of energy come from? Can I say that was the energy of love? Or can I say love generates physical energy in me, in the body? So that means the power of yoga is the power of love, happiness, and peace. Many times you are in a fix, you don't know what, so there are some problems you are not able to solve. And then one time you're sitting with a self reflection, quietly remembering God of your faith, and what all of a sudden solution comes in your mind. And say, wow, peace brings solutions. Well, peace brings creativity. So all these things are dynamic forces. So my whole effort was, when I talk about yoga, I call it, it's a dynamic energy. That means which make the things move. When you will do anything with love and happiness, you will be smiling, you will work extra, and you will make everybody friends. So you build relationship with people, you build trust because you are always able to do much, much more than anybody expects from you. So even when I went to America, because I felt many times, like if I ask you, when you feel good, when you take something from somebody or when you give to somebody, what is your experience of life? When you feel good, giving or taking? So that is everyone's experience. So how come we are still afraid of giving? We are always looking for taking once we know taking makes you feel miserable. You feel I am lacking something, isn't it? But when you're giving, you feel I have it. So I grew with that kind of, with this spirituality. That's what did to me. Because when I could get rid of bad habits within 1 week, that was amazing. Then I felt if I can change this much, I can change this much too. I can change this much too. I can change this much too. So I also used my engineering. Like, what is engineering? Engineering is to simplify things, make it simple. So, like, for example, doing drawings or the calculations could be so difficult, but a end user, the person who's not technical, you have to explain to them, oh, what is 20 by 20? They say, oh, 20 by 25 feet room. How much is it? They don't know. But then you bring them in the room like this. Oh, this is 20 by 25. Oh, okay, that's nice and all that. So ordinary people will want to see something visual. So they simplify that. Engineering, that is what I see engineering. And the other thing is application. That like unless you use the energy, it has no value. Like I still remember I heard one person studied and studied, and he acquired 82 degrees, different degrees, kept studying, but he did not do any work. And then he died. So did his 82 degrees had any value? Like, I did not use it. So same way like being an engineer, you go from A to B. You want to accomplish something. It is a journey. So this is where I found that journey of being a good person means, for me, success is not what I have achieved, what I have attained, or what I have, like in other words, how much money I have, or what position I have. All these things, after some time, they become just normal, no matter how much money you have, how much position, high position you have. But happiness always comes when you were able to do something you never thought you could do. You found something good about yourself which you never do. You never thought you had it. And when you are able to help somebody. So that is what my feeling. So even when I came to America, I made two promises to myself. One, I have not come there to change myself. I have come to change them. And other, I have not come here to take, but to give. That was my basic. People think you're going to America, you must be going for taking and this and that. I said, no, I am here to give. So how I will give? If I am working for 8 hours, I will work for 9 hours. So 1 hour becomes my giving to the society in America. I did that intentionally. And people used to be very happy with me. And because it was my choice, it's not I was forced to do that. I was smiling all the time. So people will become friendly to me in no time. So I can tell you in 47 years I'm in America, I never had a problem in my job. They always used to write whenever they will give letter of recommendation, Ram goes above and beyond what we expect from him. So that is where the life exists. extra, doing something extra. So I grew with that. So now, because of all those things, somehow or another, I found because of the positive attitude and the joy I wanted to share, I was able to accomplish much, much more. So my position also kept going higher and higher. So that is where I learned being a good person is not, people are afraid of being a good person because people will take advantage of them. Isn't true or not, But I found people can take advantage of you only if you have advantage. Means you are at advantage. Other person is at disadvantage. Energy flows from the high level to low level. So they will keep taking, keep taking. But you say, okay, I have done for you 10 times. At least I should receive from you one time at least, right? So I am here. Other person is here. If I have to take from here, where I have to come? I have to come down. And that's below my dignity. I never want to be on the receiving end. I never want somebody giving me. I always want to give, not to take. So this is what I felt. But the beauty behind that is when I am giving to other person, I am receiving from nature, from circumstances, from the higher being. So I receiving from every side. Only when the water comes out of the tap, the water start to flow in the pipeline. Only when you, like the pond water will become dirty, but the river water always flowing fresh because river keep on giving, it keep on receiving. That is the real, it's not a secret, it's an open secret that only when you give, you start receiving it. Your giving becomes your receiving. So you are not taking, but you are receiving automatically. That's what my life had been. So I want to share that even when you have that kind of things going on in your life, then even in the time of difficult situations, challenges, they turn into your opportunities. And that's what happened with me. Like you might have, some of you must have heard that when 2001, when the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, they were 110 stories each. I think many of you may not be aware. They were called Twin Towers because there were two towers there. And then there were five other buildings around. It was 16-acre total construction area. And I was hired to develop a structural integrity program of those towers because like after 20 years the buildings start to become old, then some cracks will be developing, some discoloration, maybe some leakage happen. So they wanted to make sure that each and every portion of the facility is looked at and to find wherever deficiencies are so that you can repair them. So I wrote the procedures of inspection and I was the team leader. I had four other engineers and I had seen the entire complex and developed the program. So I was doing very important job over there. But on particular day, I was on 64th floor of the North Tower, which were hit first. You know that, right? Twin towers were hit. You know. So I was on the first. The first reaction was when the tower went this way, that way, that way. Then the thought was it's an earthquake because building is shaking. But then building came to stand still. Then we thought, no, it must be a small plane accidentally hit. Maybe the pilot had heart attack or something. But we never thought it will be such a big event. So then we started to come down the stairs. And as we are coming down, all of a sudden people are saying, second plane, second plane, second plane. So actually the second plane came and hit the second building. Then we knew it is not a accident. It is a terrorist attack. In fact, we thought it is the beginning of the Third World War. Because who could imagine in it's New York City, which is the pride of United States, how somebody can just come and hit those kind of building? We thought maybe it's a preemptive strike. People say, no, when the World War, who will just do the first? They want to take out all these things. And there were communication towers on top of the World Trade Center. We thought they want to shut off the communication and all that. So that's how we are thinking. And then what happened after some time? The other tower, which was hit later on, our tower was hit first. Other was hit later, but that tower started to collapse. Whilst it was collapsing, our tower was shaking so bad because they were next to each other, very close to each other. Foundations were very connected with each other. So as that we felt the ground is shaking, plaster is falling from the top, pipelines are rattling with each other, and it was such a kind of horror kind of scene, and people were screaming, and they thought that maybe it's the end of the world. People don't know. So, and then we found out because of the debris which were falling from the collapsing tower, it blocked our stairs which we were using. So we could not use those stairs anymore. So we had to go to another stairs. Then when we went to another stairs, after some time, lot of water started to come because the pipelines were broken. So much water was coming in the stairs. If we don't hold on to the handrail, we will go down like that. And some people even got hurt that way. So holding the handrail, slowly we are coming down. Then we found out our second stairs are broken from underneath. So we could not use those stairs anymore. So there was the last one, third one. Third stairs were left, but it was very far. And in order to go there, we had to go through total dark corridor. Water is falling on top of us. Water is ankle high in the bottom. Our clothes are all wet. And in the dark, holding the wall, we are walking slowly. And once in a while, emergency light, once it is working, it loses the battery power. Then it shuts off. But once in a while, it will flicker, light. And we could see all the wires are hanging on top of us. So holding the wall, we had to bend down. So bending down, holding the wall in the water, we slowly walked, and finally we reached to the other stairs, and we came down and then came out and started walking. I could see the chaos over there. First time I noticed what is a windstorm. Like the way they talk with like this. So if it's a fire was doing big, windy and fire. And so, but slowly we went out. We had walked only about 4 or 5 minutes. We felt ground is shaking underneath, and we looked back. Our tower started to collapse. We were so close to the tower. If the tower had toppled in our direction like this, we would have been underneath. But the tower came down straight like that. Nothing happened, but then it goes like this, and the dust comes like that. So dust is after us. We are running in front, and dust is after us. Our clothes, our faces became dirty, etc. But nothing happened to us. And so there were many people with me. They didn't want to leave me. Finally, when we came out, then we have a meditation center over there. I brought them to that center. They did some meditation, and we offered them food. And at night time, when the train started to run, we all came home. But next day, people started talking to me, calling me, and they wanted to interview me. So I will share a couple of points, now, which the main thing. One thing I have to share that even though other people were getting affected with the smoke, I did not get that much affected. And I wonder what could be the reason. Because when people are having a heavy breath, so the smoke goes in more. But because when your practice of meditation, it keeps you calm. When you're calm, you are breathing very normally. So even though smoke was affecting me, but not that much. So that was one of the things which I found the instant benefit. But people were asking me, Ram, how America will take revenge now? Because such a big thing happened. And I myself very depressed too. I had written such a big program and I had given even training to the people who will be doing the inspection, and it's all gone. So, but then they were saying that how America will take revenge. I said, today they took revenge. Tomorrow we will take revenge. Then they will take revenge. People will keep getting killed. What is the end? We have to stop this vicious cycle of taking revenge. And we have to start healing process. And the healing comes from forgiveness. So when I said that, he was surprised that, you were so much affected. World, I mean, America was so much affected, and you are talking about forgiveness. But now I said, and he wrote down in the newspaper, paper, then he wrote a book about it because it was very unusual response he found from me. But then I am talking to myself, who should I forgive? I see the people that when they are in fear, when in the pain, people do wrong things. And I could see intentionally nobody wants to hurt anybody. But when they are in a helpless situation, helplessness turn into anger. And then people do the wrong thing. So I looked around everybody intentionally. Nobody does wrong thing. Like many times I do wrong things when the things are not clear to me. Sometimes I'm clear what is right and what is wrong, but I don't have the courage to do the right thing. Sometimes there is a peer pressure, pressure of other people. You end up doing wrong thing. So I am just looking at that aspect. And then finally, what it came to me, I said, Ram, you also have done so many terrible things too. You did wrong thing. I said that I used to be a naughty boy. I used to do wrong things. And I used to spend money leisurely. Even my parents could not afford it. So I used to feel very bad about it. On that day, what I said to myself, I say, keep the higher being in front of me, in front of that higher being. I forgive myself for all the wrong things I have done in my life. And I really did that. I forgave myself. And I have to really tell you, I was so much relieved as if the burden has been lifted from my shoulder. And I say, oh, I have become free now. I was jumping with joy. And when people will ask what happened, I was so excited because they did not know why I am happy because I forgave myself. They thought I am in a state of denial, that now I am just excited, but later on I'm going to cry. It never happened. And now that has become my nature. Anytime I see somebody doing something wrong, rather than feeling bad about that person, I forgive myself for something I have done wrong, maybe yesterday, maybe a week ago. That really work wonder. To me, if you want to take that one of the aspect, try this thing. Anytime you see somebody doing something wrong, don't feel bad about that person. Forgive yourself for something you have done wrong. Maybe yesterday, maybe whenever. It will make you so light. I really practice that practically. It makes me feel light. That's why people say, how come you keep on smiling when people do something wrong? How come you're smiling? I said, now I got a chance. I can forgive myself. I did something wrong yesterday. So, like that process. Other thing they were asking me, Ram, you are only 5 minutes away from death because I was 95 minutes in the tower. It took us 95 minutes to come down from 64th floor to down. And we came out of the tower only 5 minutes before it collapsed. So they were saying 5 minutes you were away from death. What was your experience of, the fear of death, that you will not be able to come out? What was that experience? And I look back into that experience. I was surprised. I really, really did not have any fear whatsoever. Now I am amazed. What could be the reason I did not have the fear? It's amazing, isn't it? The only reason I could think of, because I had started helping other people. Now, you have seen in your life, sometimes you are in a difficult situation, but you find somebody in more pain and sorrow than you are. You start to help that person, and then what happens? You forget about your own pain. It's true or not? That is what happened. But then the question was, what kind of help I could give? Everybody is coming down the stairs, and I am also coming down the stairs. What could I help? So the only difference was everybody is trying to go down as soon as possible to meet with their family. But at that time, I was practicing meditation for the last 27 years. I thought if I also become like everybody else, then what's the benefit of my doing meditation? I am also like them. I have to help them. So I will talk to them, walk slowly, and they were also very happy. They knew that I do meditation, and they will say, Ram, could you please pray for us? Because mostly they were Christian. In Christianity, there is a big kind of thing, about the prayer. And I will also say, yes, remember God of your faith, whosoever you believe in, and also you're all good people. We all will be okay. Like that, you share. But when the other tower collapse, then even the little sound will come, everybody will tremble. Like you see the horror movies, that when somebody so much fear, and then little sound comes, they're, they're shaken up like that. So there were also ladies working over there, and they were coming behind me. So I will hear their scream. So when I will hear that scream, I will look back and I will say, come in front. So I will step back and I will bring them in front. I will say, we are all together. Don't worry. We will get out together. We won't leave you alone. Now, it is not a big deal. I was 2 steps ahead. Now I became 2 steps behind. Is it a big deal? It's not a big thing. No? But for them, it was very big thing. Because somewhere they must have felt that everybody is trying to save themselves. Nobody will care for anybody at that moment. But here, this person, he's giving his own space to us, and himself going behind and putting us in the front. If we will get into trouble, this person is going to help us. Just the faith. They were so happy with me, so happy with me. And they even said to me, before I never used to tell, but in the recent time, I have started telling them, telling people. They said to me, Ram, you are our angel, Farishta. And I laughed. I said, wow, we are making so much effort to become Farishta. And here you just go 2 steps behind and become Farishta. I say, very good deal. I laughed. But later on, I thought about it. I said, it did not occur to me that I am Farishta. I thought it's just my duty. They are like my sisters, and it's my duty to help them. So I was just doing that. But why did they think that I am Farishta? So then I started to think about, I said, many times we remember angels who have done some miraculous things, who are big, big angels. But I am an ordinary person. Is it possible they are big angels? I can become a tiny angel, a micro angel, an ordinary angel, like just such a tiny thing. I can do that, right? Micro angel है no? दाना कना है you can speck like that. But what angels do? So then I started to feel angels, when we think somebody is an angel, they appear in the time of need from somewhere. You have seen that many times in your life. You are in a dire need. All of a sudden, somebody came and helped you. Oh, you are such an angel, right? We say that. So that means becoming available in the time of need. Second thing, they will work selflessly, not their own agenda, anything. They will just help. And the third, they will not reveal that they are angels. Because if people come to know they are angels, they will go after them and they won't be able to do their own job. So, and then when the work get done, they just fly away without letting anybody know. Then we say, oh, there was an angel who came and helped me. And angels never take anything in return. They don't take any gifts. Can you imagine? Angels start collecting the gifts for all the good things they've done. How they will fly? They will become burden, right? So they don't take anything. Now I ask this question over here in this gathering. Is there a possibility? Think of, can you come to help in the time of need? Who can do that? Raise your hand. You can feel that. Oh, okay. Can you work selflessly? Can you remain incognito? Nobody comes to know. Fourth, can you just not take anything in return? And not letting anybody know that you are gone, not staying for name and fame. Can we do that? And then remain, keep flying, joy. Can you? Let me see now. Now raise your hand proper. Okay, agree? Can you do that? Can you do that? I had to hear sound. Can you do it? Enthusiastic, now raise your hand fully. Yes? Today you all have become angels. Clap yourself. You clap for yourself. That is called becoming angels simplified. Simple way of becoming an angel. You know, when we were in the college, they used to call it simplified physics, simplified, mathematics, simplified. Here in America too, people say computers, simplified, but they use even the word computers for dummies. So dummies means those who don't know anything about. Same way, even if you don't know anything about angels, you can become angels. So that is called simplified way. You like it? Hmm? So you all, so from today onward, don't try to become angel. You already have become angel, no matter how little bit, even tiny. Like I just see that when I did engineering, I did not do very well. So I was engineer, but third class engineer. So here I can also say, okay, I'm not a perfect angel. Maybe I'm third class angel, but still I'm an angel. I can do the things what angels do, you know. It's true or not? You know, this is what I found in my life. And that is where there was a feeling too that my life saved. I must do something where I can justify my survival. And this is where this thing came up, you know, this program, 7 billion acts of goodness. Because I was really feeling, what if the justification, we lost 10 people in our office because the reason is they decided to stay back. but we started coming down. And by the time they started, it was too late. So when I was going into their funeral, I used to sit in the church and I asking, what is the justification I survived? The only justification then I promised myself. I said, if I consider I also have died with my friends, but now this life has been given to me. If I don't use this life for my own self, but I use it for the help of society, then even the higher being and your own self can justify why did you survive. And that has become my nature. Any place I go these days, I try to find something to help them out with. And at present time, I really feel the whole world is crying for help. No matter the rich, poor, educated, illiterate, no matter, everybody is looking for some help. It's true or not, you know. Sometimes even to say hello to them. Sometimes even asking about their children. Sometimes, and goodness is not only, I call that goodness, it's not only towards other people. If you make a mistake, you can forgive your own self, like I did. That is an act of goodness towards your own self. So we started this program called 7 billion acts of goodness. At that time, the population was going to be 7 billion. So we thought in the name of every soul in the world, we perform good actions. Somebody will say, I will do 3 good actions for 1 month. It will become 90 acts. So that becomes like I'm putting that in the bank. Somebody say, I will do for 1 year, that become 1,000. So collectively, if we can perform 7 billion, maybe that will trigger the chain reaction in the world. You know, what came to my mind was people were asking, I share my experience of the 7 billion acts of goodness. In 2008, there was a cover story in a magazine called Time, you must have heard. And the topic was happiness is contagious. And what they gave example of flu. If one person has flu, other people get flu. So then the thought was how the happiness come. That was my personal experience. That I lived a life of happiness by doing good things. Then I started to think that one terrorist with one act of terror can shake the whole world. Why not goodness do the same thing? I really started to question like a challenging myself. Why goodness is so boring? Fear sells. You do a program for fear, anger management, so many people come, stress management, so many people come, and you do a program on goodness. The goodness, such a boring subject. No? If the other program will have 500 people, this program only 10 people will show up. Nobody wants to talk about goodness. But that is where I felt, how come? Why goodness is so weak? So if they can explosion, they can bring about the explosion with the bomb, with the atom bomb, why not bringing the explosion of goodness and happiness in the world? And that is where the thought come how the atom bomb works. Atoms hit each other, then they split, then they get connected. But a tiny portion of the atom becomes extra. That extra portion, they call it one electron, that become free. Then that electron hit other atoms and then split them. So chain reaction begins. And then when a critical mass is reached, then there is explosion, like a pressure cooker, steam building. And then, so then the thought was, when can that be possible? First of all, what is an act of goodness? So that is what the definition was. Act of goodness is something I do above and beyond my duty or obligation. Like if I work for 8 hours, if I get paid for 8 hours, let me work for 9 hours. Then 1 hour becomes act of goodness. So act of goodness is not only towards other people, but that is towards your own self. Like you made a mistake, you forgive yourself. But it is not that you become lazy, but you can make up for your mistakes. If you hurt somebody 10 units, you can make that person happy 15 units. So that turns into a positive account. So act of goodness is acceptance, forgiving, and also it could be towards the parents, towards the animals, towards nature, towards your own self. Any good action, but above and beyond. Extra, extra, extra. So the extra, even ordinary action, like for example, saying hello to somebody, making a tea and coffee for somebody, to make somebody comfortable. So that was the definition of action. And then how much a good action, which will trigger the chain reaction. Then we thought 7 billion people of the world, if we can just perform 7 billion good action, that will trigger the explosion of goodness and happen. And that will call Bahisht. That will be called heaven. That will be called the world of happiness. So we can build a world of happiness, and act of goodness become a building block. It is just like every good action I perform because I'm doing extra. At present time, they say if somebody is making 100,000, they will work for 70,000 and they are considered to be smart people, right? But it is other way around. Instead of 100, I will do 110. And that means I have started changing the pattern of the world, and that will bring about the world of goodness. And that is the mission I'm doing. I have gone to about 4,000 programs I have done. I have visited about 800 places. I keep going on, keep going on. I go to India. I have gone to about 20 countries. Now I got a chance to come in the Kuwait. To me, that here you can bring about the explosion means the joy. You can bring that, just little bit extra. So that is what we did that. Now I see that time is really going by. We thought we will show one or two videos just to give you concept. You have time or we? Huh? You can. Huh? Okay, then I could show like one school video I can show. And what will give you indication that how even the students are doing in that will give you a little bit concept as well. Then I will show a couple that how children are getting excited about it. And of course, I go in the companies. You can do it in the families. You can do with the company. You can do with the societies. You can do in a political field, because goodness is needed everywhere. Just to give you, we did one school, and recently.
Wearing this t-shirt, I helped many students in their work and helped my teacher by stapling the papers.
Namaste everyone. Today we have won 7 billion acts of kindness t-shirt. We help our teachers by putting the books on their desks, and we clean our whole class.
Namaste. Today was an amazing day for me because today we had a great.
So today I have won this t-shirt of 7 billion acts of goodness, and it tells about us that we should be kind, caring, loving, smiling, etc.
Every Friday, they do act of goodness in the school. They do something for the school, for the teacher, for the friends with each other. Actually, they made the video themselves and sent it to me. Actually, I will just show.
I'm wearing the t-shirt of 7 billion acts of goodness, and today I vow to always share my stationery with others, to be kind, to care for others.
We get so excited when we feel that we can do something to bring about the change in the world. Because I asked them, do you want the family to be happy? Do you want the world to be happy? Yes. Will you do something good? Yes, we will do it. People were so happy. And one of the thing I do, I make them friendly with each other. I say, anybody have done something wrong to you, shake your hand with each other, and then I make them all become friendly with each other. I did that. The principal of the school. But I asked the children, share something, then you did something good and you felt good about it. And then like one 5-year child said, one time my mommy gave me 2 lollipops. I gave one to my friend. I felt very happy. One child said, I used to see my mother working very hard and I always wanted to help her. One day I came from school, I did my homework quickly, and then I started to wash the pots. And Mummy said, oh, no, 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 don't do that. I will do it. No, Mom, I want to help. No, you do your homework. He'll say, oh, Mom, I have already done my homework. You know, how happy the mother will be. And like that act of goodness, like I share with the children, that suppose you broke a glass. Nothing you can do about crying and doing anything is not going to help, but you can tell your mommy, Mom, I'm sorry I broke the glass. Maybe from my pocket money, I will buy you new glass. But the children sometimes don't have the money. They can say, Mom, I don't have the money, but I will work 1 hour extra for you, whatever you want me to do. That will compensate. In other words, not feeling bad about your mistake, but you can make up for it. So those kind of things, which, I find it resonates with the people. No matter like wherever you are, which company you are. We launched it in 2013.
कुछ पाने की हो आस आस कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं हर कोशिश में हो बार बार करे दरियाओं को आर पार आशाएं तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को छीन ले आशाएं खिले दिल की उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ
So nothing is difficult anymore. It's possible. We can do it over here too. And see, we can build a world of, not world of happiness, it's a Kuwait of happiness. Building this country, like that is how the possibilities are there out of generosity. At present time, the world is looking for that. I think we all are ready for it actually. Is it true or not? So we have a guideline, like because I do so many programs, what I do wherever I go, then I give them how to do this program. You can start with your family, start with the school, any place you can take this program. It is like a baby, you can take it everywhere. Whatever program you can just say, oh, will you like to do some act of goodness towards your parents, towards your own self, towards the nature? Does not matter who you do that. What do you think about it? See, my September 11, Twin Tower experience turned into doing something good. That is how I see crisis turning into opportunity. It becomes your inner strength. I could see attest to that if I can change, anybody can change. Even I can be a third class person, I can become third class angel, but at least do what angels do. It's possible. So never be afraid of being a good person. Many times people used to tell me, Ram, you are very innocent. People are using you. You have that kind of problem. People use you, people use you. You know what I tell them now? Oh, people are using me. That means I am useful. Otherwise, I will become useless. So, do I want to become useless so that nobody can use me? Or I rather become useful so people can use me. So, the more people will use, the more valuable I will become. So, never be afraid. Like I say, I'm using the microphone. You think microphone will, why you're using me? And if you're sitting over here, I think you all have that experience. People are using me. People take advantage of me. It's true or not? But what we have learned, when they take advantage, I get advantage. That is the key behind. So that is my message to everywhere I go. Don't be afraid of being a good person. And you don't have to do big things to become a good person. Tiny, because 98% of the tasks in the world are only small. Big tasks are only 1 or 2%. So don't go for only big things. Go for the ordinary tasks. Okay? Om Shanti. How you feel that? So you have any questions? I know we are behind time. Anything? Oh, that's what you did not even say Ram. It's already time. Thank you so much.
Before you thought it's an earthquake. Before you thought it is an earthquake, when did you come to know it is an explosion? And what was the second part of the question is, what was your next thought immediately after that?
See what happens is in those kind of moments, now we can think later on this way, logic, that at that time you have no clue what is happening over there. I find that at that time your instincts, it's not that what you do when the things happen, but whatever you had been doing, that comes forward. All the good things you have done in your life, that becomes your attitude. Like my attitude was helping some people, not thinking, just thought was earthquake. But then because the building went to like this, then it came to stand still. Then I knew that it is not earthquake because it would have been going again and again. But because it came to stand still, then we thought maybe a small plane hit it. We never imagined a big plane will hit like that.
There was no fear factor.
Someone of the I did not have, because my thought was so many other people are in the fear. I should help them.
Okay.
Because that's why become my nature, as I mentioned. There was the desire, because this is what I find. Like when people say that opportunity, I find any time in the time of crisis, find somebody who is in more pain and sorrow than you are, start helping them. you will be relieved from your own fear. And that is how the nature, we can see how the system is built. When we talk about justice in the world, I find justice does not come what I did, what I received. Justice comes when I did something, it's intangible things happen. I feel very happy with myself. I feel very satisfied with myself, and nobody can take away that from me. You feel so good about yourself. Like ultimately, that's what everybody wants, happiness.
So have you been always like enthusiastic and positive, or did it come with time?
Actually, I could say for 50 years, yes. Since I started doing the meditation, the reason being, I always felt I did only this much and I got this much. So I have to be happy.
But what was the point in meditation that made you feel so happy?
Actually, if I really tell, because I used to doubt too. As I said, I was miles away from spirituality, and I even did not like the spiritual people. Some or another, they were more show off and all that. But what I felt was, even in relationship built like that, and then it comes to the top, then it starts to go down with the human beings. I always hit a floor. But I remember one time I was just lying in the bed. It is like 12 o'clock. I am doubting about my own path, that what will happen after 5 years, 10 years. I will feel that that was just one of the other kind of things. It is not that I am meeting with the higher being. All of a sudden, thought came, God beings, the ocean, and the ocean will never let you down. It's all up to me how deep I want to go. With the human beings, you want to go deeper, but other person, you have disappointment, isn't it? That my love, my care was not reciprocated. It was not that I have to come back. But with God, you never will be disappointed. God will never let you down. So that was my moment. I wanted to jump out of the bed. I say, I want to really tell the whole world, oh, you are dealing with ocean, you are dealing with unlimited, you are dealing with only the one who gives forever, and you also become that. Those were my moments. After that, I never looked back. But that amazement that physical resources are limited, but happiness and love, they're all free. They're all free, but the energy of love and happiness is so tremendous. I tell you something, I cook. I can make all kind of dishes. I make beautiful bread. I make pakoras. Whatever you can think of, I make. But when I am making it, I am only thinking when people are going to eat it, how happy they should become. So I put a lot of love and happiness in making the bread and those kind of things. So when people say, wow, wow, and then I go around, how was it? I can see they are lit up. Ram, but how you did it? What is the recipe? As the biggest recipe is the love and the happiness. So what I learned was anything you do with joy, and that joy will continue. That is what happened to me unknowingly. And that's what I want to share with the world. Don't be afraid. Don't think that there is no justice in the world. There is an absolute justice. But justice may not come in the same way as you see in the physical level. Justice will come, like for me, justice is, what is the justice? If I do many, many good things, right? So what is the return of that? What is the, I will get more things to do. I end up doing more work. So work is worship. When people say, I find karma, good karma is the way we become angels. Good karma. So because I was able to apply it and continuously, I honestly can say life of 50 years of happiness. So now people think, like many times people say, oh, Ram, you always are happy. Whenever we see you, I see you happy. I say, you don't know the secret. I became happy looking at you. and you think I am happy. So, that is what I feel. That is the reason I find it is possible to become happy and to be living a life of it. Yeah, anything you do, don't think what, people have known, like I am famous for doing the dishes. Now, but time is not there. How many things I can tell? But I know, like doing the dishes is such, how I feel when I am washing the pots? I feel the love and happiness from the soul. It is coming and spreading in the whole body, like the sweat comes out. It has a smell. Why not love and happiness come? Fragrance of love and happiness. So when I'm touching the water, all the water is touching me. The water is taking my love and happiness. And then it goes into the drain. Water is carrying the love and happiness there. Then it goes into the bigger drain. Then it goes into the river. Finally reaches the ocean. My doing the pots, the love and happiness which I am putting in the water, it is going up to the ocean. See, that is how I feel. People say when there is butterfly, it is felt in the whole universe. Have you seen when you throw a stone in the water, it has a ripple effect? How far the ripples go? Up to the end. So same way, any actions I perform, the action is a mean of spreading the love and the happiness. It is like giving life to the nature. So that is how feel that the task of anything I do. Even when I'm doing the pots, I feel, like the mother, the child, how she cleans the child, like that. I am doing the same thing to the pots. And when the pots become clean and shining, I feel the pots are smiling and saying thank you to me. They say, look, we were lying there dirty, people used me, even the flies were bothering me. You cleaned us, thank you so much. Now we can sit in the clean pots. Like my imagination, they look like a childlike imagination, but I live in those imagination. That is what made me look like a child. I really feel like I never want to grow up. People say to me, Ram, when you will grow up? I said, never. Why I have to? Because the child, you give a lollipop, you make the child happy. The big people, you have to do so much work to bring smile on their face. Is it true or not? So I can become happy with nothing. So that is how I see you don't need much to be happy. The biggest happiness is when you make other person happy. So that is.
Thank you very, very much. Are you all inspired to do good things?
Acts of
Definitely.
goodness. Yeah. Next time I come, okay, you do big program. So, and I will come next time. You can use me for, I will do 6 programs, 7 programs.
Full of enthusiasm, really. You are an inspiration, right? In his age, in his very nice. So because he was talking about love and happiness, so we have also prepared a very nice sweet that is also cooked in happiness. So the brother Ram will be giving it to you with his beautiful smile. Brother, you can give?
Yes. I
Atma,
can
maybe
do.
you can make.
Yes. But 1 minute, we can be silent.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
you are not that late. Yeah. 2 minutes. If you're,
You
or
can
3
bring-
minutes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
And thank you very much from the heart, really, Brother Ram. I'm happy. We are all happy you are here. He's going tomorrow early morning, but he said, we said, are you not tired to give like a session? He said, no, I'm happy to give. It will give me more energy. So thank you. Yeah, we'll have few minutes of silence.
Just, go deep inside and feel yourself. What really I am. Even on the external situations come. make me upset. But when I look at the core of my being, it is so beautiful. There is so much love. And that's my DNA. Being a child of God, who is ocean of love. As I carry my parents' DNA in the body, soul carries the DNA of God. Love is my natural nature. Happiness is my natural nature. That's my DNA. And one of the things God does, God gives. Giving also is my DNA. When I give, I receive. When water comes out of the tap, water starts to flow in the pipeline. The hot air moves away. The fresh air comes in. The whole universe works on giving, giving, and giving. One-way traffic. And when I meditate, this is what I do. Experience myself a DNA of love and happiness. And God comes and explodes it. And my love and happiness spreads all over, turning a seed into a big tree. And the love grows like ocean, like a volcanic eruption of goodness and happiness. Explosion of goodness, happiness. And that is what I do when I meditate. Experiencing love and happiness and sharing it with the universe. Om Shanti.